So we're going to touch on a subject that is
dear to your heart.
Okay, we can call it that.
What's your issue with marriage? What is your beef with marriage? If you're involved in a relationship,
yeah,
do you cheat on your woman?
No, of course not.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what marriage is. I would think that you'd respect your partner and all the rest of it, and you consider your partner, and you look after your partner. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
That's what marriage is. What is your beef with marriage? Simply because you are really already upholding what the principles of marriage are anyway.
Yeah, and I don't need to
have a piece of paper.
I don't need to have a piece of paper that says that. I don't need to pay the money and bankrupt myself through some la-di-da fancy
ceremony
load of bollocks,
okay.
You know, and see all these people who I don't want to see in the first place. If I'm with my partner for however long and we say, this is going very well, let's celebrate or whatever. Now, we can then just bring our mates, go to the pub, have a good time. We're here to celebrate, spending however long together, and here's to the future. I've got you a ring, you've got me a ring, and we just put them on, there we go, done, happy. Not, we are gathered here today to witness the... No, I don't need that nonsense, man.
For me, what I'm hearing from you right now is not so much you've got a beef with marriage as a concept of it, or even as an institution. You've got a beef with the way people do it now. Thousands of years ago, if I could just say, a piece of paper was never a part of the system at all until divorce started creeping in. Divorce didn't start until men started cheating on their wives. So,
what do you mean started? Until they got caught.
Got caught cheating on their wives.
Now,
and men have been cheating on their wives for quite some time now. Before that, there was no piece of paper. There was two people for life committed to each other, which is what you say you do already. The paper side of having a marriage, you know, the marriage certificate and all this, all that is there in place to safeguard at least one party in the event that one of you cheats. I've got a very romanticised view of marriage. I won't hear any negativity against marriage. When two people are faithful, the paper part doesn't come into it, the legal part doesn't come into it, none of that's relevant. By the time it becomes relevant, e.g. one of you's near death or whatever, one of you will probably end up dying soon anyway. Yeah. The ceremony, okay, not your style, I understand. It's not the style of a lot of people.
Really, it's just a form of control, really. Let's be honest.
Controlling whom?
But that's then you become a part of the system. Oh, if you get married, we give you tax breaks. I'm not saying that it's bad that you are a couple, right? And you share these things. Now, if I'm not married and have a bit of paper that says I'm married, then am I allowed to share my stuff with my partner?
Yes.
Does my partner instantly become the benefactor of everything when I die?
Not if you're not married.
Why not?
That's just the way it is.
That's
because marriage provides an element of security that you don't have with common law.
Not really. Not really. I don't think so.
Family members can contest your relationship with a partner more readily if you're not married. There's a lot. It's complicated.
It's stupid. In my will, it states that this person gets everything. What is there to then
discuss? Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly.
If your family don't contest it, but I think if your family contests it and you're not married, there's more. It throws up problems. All I'd come back to is I'm looking at it in the purest form of marriage, which is when you get married, there is no divorce. You make the right choice to marry the right person. You end up together. You stay together. You don't cheat on each other. Mm-hmm. You commit to each other. Marriage is a beautiful thing.
There's nothing wrong with spending your life
with one person.
That's fine. Basically, I don't like people who have used this thing that should be beautiful and romantic, and they've turned it into this bureaucratic
mechanism to make money.
And it's just bollocks, man. It's the state. And it's the church as well.
I must admit, I don't really agree with you having to pay to get married. Let's say you were involved with someone and you two were both interested in spending the rest of your lives together. If I could find a place that didn't charge you to get married and you didn't have to go through a big ceremony, would you consider it?
I really don't know.
Okay. It'd be good to keep an open mind.
Because
on that, though.
I mean, the thing is for me, it's between me and my partner, right? I don't care what anyone else thinks, and that's the whole point of a wedding, is to show off.
You're saying to show off. You're not showing off anything. You're showing off the bride. No, you're only showing off the bride. The people celebrate weddings the way they do now because it is about the bride. The wedding is the day for the bride. That's it. It's not for anyone else. It's the day for the bride to be beautiful, for everyone to look at the bride and say, that is what the wedding ceremony is. It's not about the man. Come on, let's be honest. It's got nothing to do with the guy. The groom might as well not be there. He could be somewhere else. Now, if what you're saying you have a problem with, what you're saying is you have a problem with that, all right, fine. That's for you to.
No. I'm not saying no.
Okay, well, if you are, that's for you to sort out with your future fiance or whomever. There's a lot of women out there who. Not only do they dream of marriage, but it's a gesture. It's the symbolism of marriage. Marriage makes a woman feel special. I'm not saying it doesn't men.
I was going to say, yeah. Why is it always the woman's lucky day? What about the guy? The guy's done his fair share.
That's something for another time, dude. We're going to get into it. Something for another time we need to get into. We can talk about the wedding day some other time.
It is to do with the whole concept of marriage now. It just frustrates me that this thing that I have with one other person now has to become
a big thing.
And maybe that says a lot about me.
If you like your privacy or discretion, all that tells me is that if you were to get married, you need a more intimate way of celebrating your union with your future. All I'm saying is, because you've got a problem with the way things work, generally speaking, is no reason not to get married. Don't hate the institution for what people have bastardized it to be. Because marriage in its purest form is one of the best things that you could ever want. Any man or woman. The fact that so many men fuck it up doesn't make marriage bad. This is the problem that I have, because you have so many people who say, oh my god, no, marriage can't possibly work. Bullshit. That's bullshit. Marriage can work. I'm not saying it'd be easy. I'm not saying it's effortless. I'm saying marriage can work. Because you lack self-control, or so many men and women on the planet lack what it takes to make their marriage work, don't sit there and tell me that marriage as a concept, as a formula, as a commitment doesn't work. That's not true. You got 3 billion people who fuck it up, and even one person manages to make it work. That tells me that the marriage can be done. It tells me that marriage is worth investing in, because it can work. If no one has ever been faithful to their spouse, okay, it can't be done. Not at all. But I resent how so many people say, oh no, people weren't made to be monogamous. Rubbish. People are gonna cheat. I don't believe in that. That's nonsense. And I don't like these people who want to blame the institution of marriage for the fact that they can't do it. You're the problem. Marriage isn't the problem, because there's plenty of men and women out there who make a successful marriage.
Say this year was my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary.
Case in point.
Get in.
Exactly. Jeez, that's great. I would love that. Imagine that. Someone who you've been with for so long, who knows you inside out, and they know your up and downs, they know what you're good at, they know your strengths, they know your weaknesses, and they accept you for all of that. And you're telling me that's a bad thing? You're telling me that can't work? Come on. It can work with effort. It just means you've got to be committed. I just don't like how people want to blame the institution of marriage when they've either not done the legwork or put the effort in. All the stuff, half the stuff that you highlighted as a problem with marriage as an institution comes from the fact of lack of faithfulness. All the stuff that happens now happens because people can't be faithful, or they choose not to be faithful. Let me get that right. But don't fuck it up and then say, oh yeah, it's not my fault. People weren't meant to be monogamous. That's nonsense. Animals can be monogamous, but humans can't. Who are supposed to be so much more intelligent? Okay, I think we've given a very strong argument for marriage. I mean, basically what we're saying is that...
not for marriage.
Well, I think
For
if you want to call it unity, that's marriage, man.
Yeah, maybe.
If you want to forget all the other baggage and you just say, okay, well, I'm going to commit to my partner. We're not going to get married. I'm going to commit to my partner, but we're not going to use the word marriage. You do what you call it what you want to call it. The values, the fundamental elements are the same.
Okay, what we now need to do is flash up the dictionary meaning of marriage and see who's right.
Well, why does either of us have to be wrong? I mean, I think, why can't we both be right? All that we've highlighted here is a need for a strong for a child to be born into a family that has strong commitment and unity values.
And even
which
if
takes
even if
the form of marriage in its purest form at the very least. If you want to give it anything else, any other definition, that's what it is.
But then saying that, even if there's not a child, that unity, that it still needs to be there, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Still, I think it's still best for both parties that you have a standard, strong, open commitment to each other.
Yeah.